right, so let's take a quick look at Hockley, Texas. So, Hockley, Texas, up until recently was mostly, and I'll show you on the map, was mostly rural up until recently, where you've seen a lot of new development come in the last few years. So, this is the area. Helped a couple of clients buy and sell in the area. You have communities like Stone Creek Ranch, Bower Landing, and then Del Rose, a few other new construction communities. But then you also have older communities, 50/50 on rental, and ranches back here, or just people living on acreage, not necessarily ranches. Not everything in Texas is a ranch. Um, so you kind of have a situated on where it is. Um, Average rent for a 3 bed, 2 bath home, comfortable space, about 1,900 to 2,200. It could definitely be lower. This is more the pricing for the newer homes that are being rented out. There are older homes that are being rented out, but those are going to be lower than 1,900. You could be in the 1,700, 1,800, maybe lower price range. Then when it comes to average home price, so here we go. So you've definitely seen it shoot up since 2020 as most residential areas. However, I think this is one of the areas where you are going to see a little bit of a correction to the 275 area, 275, 300, but then it'll come back up. The dynamic of your um, Cypress, Katy, Richmond, Spring, because it's become so populous. Let me show you a map so I can explain this better. I'll keep it simple. All of this has been filling up with people, new residents coming in, people moving out of the city into the suburbs, whatever the dynamic is. And you're starting to see growth here and here and here and here, right? So if there ever wasn't time to get a starter home that you're going to sell in 5 years, now's the time. That's one of those type of areas. So now, what about education and crime? Let's look at that. So for Hockley, I believe we're in Waller ISD. And let me just, for context, so it's not just Hockley. It's a lot of this. Well, not all the way out there, but and some parts of this here along the 290, which gives you great access all the way to Houston and the rest of Texas. You can go get ice cream in Brenham and sausage in Chapel Hill. So we said 275, 3. I think that's where you're gonna be now, and then in the future, you give it 5-7 years, you'll be okay turning a profit and glad that you did, or stay there forever. So we're gonna look at Waller ISD, and while that's loading, we're gonna take a quick look at what crime does out in it's not really the boonies, but it kind of is, right? Not much. So, I mean, let's try to refresh it to make sure, but not much. So, and I'm not the only one pointing this out. There's a lot of people that are making the move in that direction because of the same thing. They want to breathe. There's just all of this going on in certain areas. They say, you know what, enough's enough. I just want to live my life and breathe, right? So they end up out here. So Waller Independent School District. So very low student body. So you can see Hockley, Waller, Prairie View, Waller, Hockley. So very small. I would love to be out there. Actually, I might just do that. And graduation rates are on near 97%. So again, my philosophy is 50-50. You have to help at home with that, with the schooling. So yeah, definitely worth checking out now, uh, before it becomes another Katy, Cypress, and another one of these areas.